Actually a recording artist, signed to Atlantic Records for a year. I've been on tour with Kid Leroy, Lil Baby, Nardo Wick, Waka Flocka, Tusi, anybody you can think of. I was in music for about 7 to 10 years. I'd say 7 or 8 years. Let me not estimate that. And I was just chasing a dream, man. So like, honestly, I do wish I had this opportunity back then.
Dude, welcome back to another video. This is a different style video I usually don't film. I have my buddy Austin here. He's one of my students. This is like the first time I've ever been IRL with one of my students that have made it out. So super happy to have him on, kind of explain his experience to all these people that want to get into high ticket sales, new people. So Austin, if you want to introduce yourself, kind of go through your whole experience in the program, go right ahead, man.
Gotcha. What's up, guys? My name's Austin. Long story short, I joined his program after being in car sales for a long time. I'm born and raised in South Carolina, by the way. 27 years old. I know that this isn't much for the older folk, but I mean, at 27 years old, I've worked a lot of jobs, been in sales for a long time. Like I said, I come from car sales when I was joining this program, and I'll never go back, to be honest with you.
100%. That's why I respect it, because a lot of people, they think this whole internet money thing's for young people. It's only young people can do this. A lot of older people, they feel like they have too big of an ego to get into it and learn from someone younger from them. Walk us through the process as someone brand new into the thing. You're doing car sales. You want to get into high ticket remote sales. What did you do right when you got in the program? What was the first steps that you were okay, how can I transition from working my job full time to making this a full time thing?
Gotcha. So I was working full time. When I say full time, I mean more than full time. I was 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
That's car sales.
Yeah, car sales. I was 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day of the week except Sundays. I came across your Instagram, and I feel like if you're really tapped into the online sales, you see these guys selling courses, online programs.
It's real. Someone's making money.
There's got to be somebody here making money some way. Yeah. And, just coming across your stuff, it seemed legit. So I reached out to you, obviously. I was working my job. I had just gotten paid my commission check for the month. So in car sales, you get a draw, but then you get a monthly commission check. So okay. I had been, watching for weeks, just seeing how the process worked. And then once I got my check, I did what I had to do, man. I took the risk and made the jump, and I thought it was going to be this big ordeal. I was going to have to train for this long. I know you remember my questions I had.
100%.
We all do. That's just what makes us survivable in this economy, right? Yeah. We have to ask questions. We have to do things or make sure our money's going to be there, because I live alone. I don't have help. I just had to do what I had to do, man. And I got my check. I joined the program and started making money almost immediately. It's not magic. It's not rocket science. I joined your program, got into the training, the great training you guys had that was so simple to learn but very knowledgeable at the same time. I ended up getting my first offer. A few days into the offer, I started setting appointments and doing what I had to do.
Yeah. I think you called me after you closed the first deal. I think it was $750. You closed. Yeah. I think you were getting pretty good commissions. What commissions are you getting? 15%?
Yes, I was at 12%, and then I ended up doing really good, so I moved up to 15%.
That's crazy. So I remember he called me. He made $750 in 30 minutes. He's like, Colby, this is legit. Actually works. But what do you think is the factor? Because a lot of people, they do get into remote sales, but they don't make money for 3 months. What do you think is the difference? How come you were able to come in and make money your first month rather than people that take so long? What do you think is important?
So people don't understand that there is an online world to making money, and it's not drop shipping. It's not these weird antics that people do on the internet. I've tried them, but getting into your program, I think just being instructed the right way, guided the right way. And it's all like I said, it's almost too good to be true. And then it happens, and you're like, oh wow, it's actually real, and it's very simple. 30 minutes, I made $750. Mm-hmm. I did that multiple days in a row. I do that now I do it for a living, Yeah. So I just think that it was just following exactly what you told me to do, getting on an offer and changing your own life.
Right, and that's obviously my angle in this whole entire space is focusing on getting on an offer. Because when I started remote sales, zero sales experience. I wasn't a car salesman. I had zero experience at all. I just got on a good offer, so I had enough conviction to make money immediately. But when you saw the offers and you got on an interview, what was that process like?
So in the program, it was scary at first because there are so many offers. And I got lucky, and the first offer I jumped on happened to be a really good offer. Not that there's any bad, but I feel like I was very blessed to have the offer I had for the first one.
Sometimes you got to go through 2, 3, 4, find the right one.
Yes, exactly. The new offer I'm on now, I was kind of nervous at that too, because I was like, oh, my first offer was really great, really great. They did some reconstructive systems to their sales program, and I ended up finding another offer. I was worried that this next offer, the one I'm on now, wasn't going to be as good as the first, but I mean, you do what you do, man.
And when we say offer, by the way, it just means like job. Like
job
role,
offer.
Whatever job offer you're on. So basically it's like, if you want to explain to them, what are you actually selling? A lot of people are like, what is high-tech sales? What are you selling? What is your specific niche? You don't have to say any names or anything, but like, what's the general idea of like what you're doing on a day-to-day?
Gotcha. So the first one I was on was a wholesale real estate deal. It was an offer basically just helping people find properties to buy. Right. So they would reach out to us via Instagram, via DM, via phone, via email. I would call them, set an appointment with one of our closers. If the closers weren't available, then I would set them a further appointment with me. Okay. And go through the sales process. And if they wanted our product, then I would close the deal and get that percentage. Easy.
So it was wholesale real estate. Did you know about real estate?
I didn't know a thing about real estate.
So you just have to learn it as you go. I mean, every sale is the same. Whether you're selling a car, product, mentorship, anything, I feel like it's the same. So I think, this is probably like your 4th month in remote sales total. You wake up every day. What is your day-to-day? If someone wants to get into this within the next 60, 90 days, what can they expect? What does Austin CMO do every single day to make money?
Yeah, so I wake up, I go to the gym at 7 a.m. Now the offer I'm on now, it's open hours. So basically they want me in front of my computer on the phone from 8 to 5. Okay. Sometimes they'll book me appointments that I need to call or that I need to close. And sometimes that can be starting at 11. Sometimes I could be starting at 12. So it just depends on what time the appointments are set. But honestly, I'm a hustler, you know that. So I get on there at 8 o'clock. So I'm at the gym by 7. I'm done eating by 8 o'clock, around 8 or 8:30 if I don't have anything right at that time. I'm going through the pipeline and I'm calling people that I've called before that maybe didn't answer until 4 or 5 o'clock. And what I love about this is that I genuinely, once I get off a call, I'm able to go grab lunch. I'm able to walk my dog. This is the whole point of what we're doing, is that you have that freedom. Yes, it's great making the money that I'm making, but I think it's more or less that, I'm in my room, I'm chilling, I'm watching a podcast, I'm doing the things that I like to do. And, I would say it, and it'd be a disservice to you to tell you a day-to-day that's the same, because every day is not the same. Right. I'm doing different things every day because I have that freedom.
That's good. But yeah, even downstairs, I just got my car valeted, and we were talking to the valet about remote sales. He's like, how do we do this? I've done drop shipping. I've done everything. The reason that this works is because it's not super shiny. I'm sure you're not the most ecstatic person about sales in your life. You just like the freedom, right? You like the money, you like the freedom, you like to be able to control your income, not have a boss. So as far as sales, what do you see yourself doing long term? Do you feel like you're going to do sales forever? Do you want to, close deals, move on to different offers? Where do you kind of go from here?
Long term, I would have to say I want to do a lot of traveling. That's a goal of mine in my life, and I feel like sales is the only way to do that. And this high ticket, the remote sales space that we're in is perfect. I couldn't imagine trying to travel, working 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. selling cars for someone else. Yeah, you can't do that. It just doesn't work. And so as of right now, my long-term goal is to be I'm obviously going to stay in sales. I think that's, if you want to make money, if you want to have financial freedom, if you want to be able to control your future, stay in sales. Yep. If you want to be able to do things while you're doing sales, this is the perfect space. Yeah, and that's not me being biased. That's just me telling the truth.
100%. And if you want to start a business in the future, you have that skill set. I think this is I don't want to say it's stress-free, but it's if you just jump straight into starting a business or doing growth operating or doing something that's managing too much, it's a lot to swallow. You know what I mean? I'm sure you feel start a business. Have you ever done business or anything?
Yeah. So, I literally came from managing restaurants. I came from managing lawn care businesses. I did door-to-door roof sales. I've done pest control. And then obviously I was in the cars. And I just, I remember what really got me when I was in sales was I was going door to door, knocking on someone's door. And I feel like that's a big safety issue for me. I'm knocking on someone's property, and it was kind of making me a little weird. Yeah. And I'm like, why am I risking my life to sell someone else's stuff?
That they don't even want.
That they don't
that they potentially
want,
don't even want.
That they don't want, and they don't want you there, and they don't want, this niche, what we're doing is these people are reaching out to us. It's not, that's the whole key right there. These people are reaching out to us. Yeah. And we're just doing what we need to do to offer them and help them.
100%. And a lot of people, they make fun of it. They're like you're a baby bird closer. You're not a real sales rep. You're not doing outbound. It's like, yeah, that's the whole point. Like that's, no one wants to be doing door to door all day. Like if we could do this from our laptop, sit there, make $750 a day, who wouldn't do that? You know what I mean? So.
And what blows my mind is people can't believe it. It's just too good to be true. Or that, you know, what I think it is just taking that potential leap and doing what they need to do to make it happen. This wasn't a thing where it just fell in my lap and I just signed up and I got into the program. I had to sit there and study. I had to sit there and understand the scripts, the ropes, the stuff you provide. It's not like I'm out here struggling to find what to do. It's you literally says start here, you start there, you go to there, opportunities, you hop in there, you start applying, you get an interview, you start making money. I mean, there's no, it's just, I think it's just biting that bullet and understanding that it's actually doable.
And that's why I wanted to have you on here too, because when you first reached out to me, I could tell you were skeptical.
Very.
100%.
I'm 27 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine a 19-year-old going to college, and he's like, how am I going to make $750 a day while I go to school? Right?
Yeah, 100%. That makes sense. So I was like, you were asking me a lot of questions about it. You're like, okay, is this a pyramid scheme? Like, what's the whole thing about it? And so what made you feel like it was legit? Like, at what point were you like, okay, maybe there's a sliver of hope in this?
I think it was knowing that I had my check from the car lot, and I was like, if I fail anyway, if this doesn't work, I'm okay. Yeah. And I think that is important to mention is that you can work a job for a little bit while you do this to learn the ropes. You should. And you should. You 100% should. I feel like knowing that when you told me, and that's actually what you mentioned to me. I don't know if you remember our phone call, but I was like, man, I'm just nervous because of my job. And you literally said, don't quit your job. And I was blown away. I was blown away. I was like, oh, I don't have to quit my job yet? And I'm like, no, dude.
That was the most thing you were stressed about. You're like, dude, I can't just jump in. Like, what if I had my bills? I'm like, dude, don't quit your job. Yeah. Just start part-time, close a few deals, see if you can do it, and then jump in.
Yep. And then I remember the $750 day I called you and my mom, and I was like, there is literally half my rent in 30 minutes.
Insane.
Yeah. And if I bust my ass, excuse my language, for doing this, all I needed to make after 30 minutes, that 30 minutes after I joined when I got on the offer and got the call, all I needed to make to have a roof over my head was another $750. So I had 30 days to make 30. Yeah. So it was just, it's just getting a good offer and understanding the ropes.
Yeah. And it's not like you're making life-changing money. Like, how much commission did you make this month?
I think $5,940 something dollars. And it was a slow month. Like I said, they were reconstructing the sales system, stuff like that. Yeah. So last month I made $6,700. Okay. Right at $7,000 as a setter.
Right.
As a setter.
And then when you move up closer, you make double commission. So
yep.
It's not like some shiny thing. He's not making 50, 60K a month. It's like you're still working for your money. It just opens up that freedom. Yeah. You know?
I look at it like this. I made $6,700 in a month. And while I was working, I went to the gym before at my own pace. I ate breakfast at Waffle House most mornings. I walked my dog, sat down at my desk, made a phone call, played Skate 3, made another phone call, walked my dog, made 3 more phone calls. I think I walked my dog most days. Like, I think my dog, this is the healthiest she's ever been because I just get up and walk her.
You're sitting 9 to 5 all day.
Yeah.
I think
and just go in there.
It's not super stressful. A lot of people are like, I don't like sales. It's stressful, this and that. Obviously, it's stressful at times. But, I mean, compared to, like, a real sales job, I mean, what would you differentiate it? Like, what is it similar? How is it different? Like,
yeah, so when I think sales jobs, a lot of us think door-to-door, or I think car sales.
Right.
I've even heard of medical sales.
Sales has the worst connotation.
It does. Because
like when I heard about this, I'm like, I'm not doing this. But then I realized what it was, and I'm like, okay.
I think sales has the worst connotation because of the 90s and 80s, the door knocking. People would show up and try to sell you a vacuum. I think we need to realize, guys, we're in 2025. Yeah. This is a whole different world. You should not be door knocking. If you are door knocking, please tell me the best solar panel you've ever seen that better turn into a transformer. It shouldn't be like you should not be working. What was I working? 9, 10, 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day to make $35,000 to $4,000 a month.
Right.
And this, I'm making more money, but it's just a freedom. I think that's it. I think that's the whole key to this whole conversation is just knowing the freedom and knowing how simple it was. That's also a part of this conversation is knowing that I just genuinely jumped in, got an offer, and got my first check.
Right. That's the biggest thing. You get in, you learn the scripts, you understand the process, and then you get on an offer. You get on an interview. We provide interviews. We have like a whole job board where it's basically like we have 160 offers a month that we hire for. So Austin got on an interview, landed it, very simple. But I know a lot of door-to-door people are probably going to come at this like, I've gotten a lot of hate on TikTok and stuff like this talking about door-to-door sales, but we don't mean it in any disrespectful way. It's literally just the fact of every person that I've trained in transition from door-to-door sales, from car sales, night and day difference.
Yeah, you don't. I look at it like this. The reality is these people who work door to door, they know they don't have to do it. They know that there's ways to make money online, but they're scared to make the jump.
Yeah.
And that's just coming from a door to door salesman.
Yeah.
I made $60,000 in roof sales in 2021.
You did
I did
sales as well?
Yes, roof. I did roof, pest control. All in 2021, I made $60,000 in roof sales. I mean, I'm not hating on it. How could I hate on it? I was once one of the soldiers, but there's just no point. I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just important to know is that you don't have to make that decision any longer if you don't want to. If you're watching this video and you're in roof sales, if you're in car sales, you don't have to be.
You have the ability to make it. You already have the skill set. You just have to make the jump.
It is harder to sell cars than it is what I'm doing right now.
100%. 100%. I always think about it like car sales is good because people are walking in the store looking for cars.
Kinda like what we're doing. They're looking for
exactly.
us.
But I always talk to people that do car sales and I say remote sales is like being a car salesman, except instead of one person walking in every 30 minutes, there's 1,000.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
agree.
Like there's just thousands of people opting in every single day, depending on what influencer. And you just have to sift through all the leads, same process that you do with the car sales, and sell them what they're looking for.
And what I like about what we're doing is, a lot of car sales, a lot of door-to-door knocking, roof sales, they all use CRMs. So you already understand how a CRM works. You have your contacts, you have your sales log, you have everything. All I have to do, if I'm bored laying in my bed, I get on my laptop and I go through my CRM. I go through what contains all the information I need to get myself.
CRM for anyone that's
CRM. So the most popular is obviously, I think, Go High Level.
Yeah.
Go High Level. I used Techion when I was selling cars. Basically, what it is an application or a website that has a dashboard. It tells you everything you've made, what the company's made, the contact list. Everyone who has tried to contact the business or everyone that the business has contacted, you can go through this. You can see conversations. You can see any kind of information you need on these leads.
Yeah, it's basically a way to organize all the people that are interested in the product, like their phone number, their email, notes about them. It's basically how to organize the people you're going to make money from.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so first month, you get in the program, you go through training. How long did the training take? Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks? It depends on each person, but for you.
2 weeks, I'd say roughly. I remember my calendar. I wrote down when I joined the program. It was like 17 days after. It was like
That you landed your offer?
2 weeks and like 3 days.
Okay, so you landed the offer after 2 weeks. You went through training. You landed the offer. And what did you make your first month?
First month, obviously my first month, I was like halfway through the month.
Right.
I made like $2,500.
And you were still in the car sales job?
Yes. And I was only working Thursday to Sunday.
And what mindset shift did you have to quit at only $2,500? Because that is risky. I quit my job when I made like $3,000 from appointment setting. I was like, I just got to do this full time. So what kind of mindset shift did you have?
Obviously, sorry. Well, I did have my commission check from the car sales, and then I made an extra $2,500 in that last few months, and I just said, "This is it. If I can make $2,500 in half a month, I can make $5,000 in a whole month." And then the second month, I ended up making whatever it may be, $5,500, and then I made the $6,000, and then I made the slow month last month. So,
all right. So let's just say, hypothetically, hopefully this won't happen, but let's just say you wake up tomorrow. You get fired from your job, from your setting role that you're currently on.
Yep.
What would you do? Like, what's the next steps? Because a lot of people are probably worried about that. Like, what if this doesn't work out? What if I get fired? What if something happens?
it is as simple as going into the program, going to 3 tabs down and clicking exclusive opportunities and applying for another.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people get it confused, because when I mention this to people, they're like, what company do you work for? What this do you work for? And I'm like, it's not like that. It's an opportunity. And if that one doesn't work out, go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. And in your program, you offer endless opportunities. I mean, every single day you're putting in opportunities. There is no worry in the world for me to find another offer.
Yeah, I think today we've had like 9 different influencers reach out to us to find sales reps because it's such an in-demand thing. So yeah, there's unlimited opportunities. Like all you have to do is be somewhat well-spoken, be decent at sales, understand the scripts, and apply for the job opportunities. That's it. That's all you have to do. He's a walking example. We have like 250 plus student testimonials. I'd love to meet a lot of these people. I'm glad we could link up. We were like 2 hours away. It's like, it only makes sense. But yeah, we had so many student results in the past like 3-4 months. Like you've seen it in the Discord as well.
And it blows my mind. These kids are 17, 18, 19 years old.
That's insane. If I knew about this at like 17, 18,
I was 18
ridiculous.
managing a Hardee's and making $12 an hour. And I don't even understand or don't even know how I would think if I had this opportunity at that age.
100%. Especially if you like.
I'm excited about it now.
If I was 17 making $750 even one time in 30 minutes,
yes,
my mindset would be so different. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then random question, did you ever go to college? Or what did you do when you were 18, 19? Like, what did you want to do?
18, 19, I did go to college for a year. And then I ended up getting into music.
Right.
Yeah. So music, you know a little bit more about this. So I was honestly a really successful artist. I was signed to Atlantic Records, and I thought I was going to be rich and famous. I got into the niche, and I noticed that once I started taking off and I started doing big shows, I've been on tour with almost anybody you can think of, Lil Baby, Nardo Wick, Waka
This is great.
Flocka.
Yeah, I don't know how we left this part out, but
I don't
give
either.
us your whole music background.
Okay, so let's get to that. So I was actually a recording artist, signed to Atlantic Records for a year. I've been on tour with Kid Leroy, Lil Baby, Nardo Wick, Waka Flocka.
That's insane.
Tusi, anybody you can think of. I was in music for about 7 to 10 years. I'd say 7 or 8 years. Let me not estimate that. And I was just chasing a dream, man. So like, honestly, I do wish I had this opportunity back then, because I would have been doing this on the side while doing music, and I probably would have had more money to invest into my career. Yeah. So I went to college for a year, got out because I started making motion with music. I wouldn't even say money with music. I would say motion with music. I was working a job throughout the week, doing gigs on the weekend, and it just, the music industry is great. I had a lot of fun. We did a lot of cool stuff, but I think that I wanted to be more of an entrepreneur than an artist, and I think that being an artist was fun. But when I wasn't being an artist, I was trying to be an entrepreneur from being an artist, and it just wasn't making me any money.
It didn't fully.
And no, I never made a $10,000 month. I never made a 15. The most I ever got paid for a show was $5,000, and I think I celebrated for like 2 months. Yeah. And it just, like, I'm not saying don't follow your dreams, but
there's different levels. Like you got to find your goals. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
I'm the same way. My original hustle was videography. That's how we actually followed each other. I reached out to him. I wanted to do music videos for him. Like, I literally was trying to shoot music videos for him when he was like doing music and all that stuff, and I just realized that my actual goal was I wanted to be rich. Like, the whole reason I wanted to do videography and stuff, I was trying to be like, Cole Bennett. I was trying to just like drive cool cars and stuff, which is being rich. That's what I wanted to do.
And that's what I wanted, the same thing, man. And I love the attention, and I love that, but the more attention they got, the more problems I got. I don't think it necessarily means the more money, more problems. That can be a term, but I think the more money, the more problems solved if you know how to do it correctly. Right. It's a tool. It's a tool, exactly. Yeah. And this program that we're talking about right now became my toolbox. Music no longer became my toolbox. It only made sense when I was doing a show for $700 and then coming home and going back to door knocking, going back to the car sales. And it just, I don't even want to do music anymore. This is what you know what I mean? This is just the reality of it. This is me telling the truth. I would rather do this, make 10, 15 grand when I start working my way up. And who knows where I'll be. I won't have to make music.
Right, because I think you see the freedom. And you still can't make music just for fun. You don't have to stress about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spending all my money at the studio, right?
Exactly, You're a setter right now. I think you've been a setter for around 4 months. When do you plan on transitioning to closing? Because that's like most people's goal. They're like, I just want to be a closer straight away. When do you plan on transitioning?
So I think the important thing to note is that it is night and day difference between being a setter and a closer, because each offer is different, obviously. So I got gracious, and my offer is allowing me to close every now and then whenever my closer can't make a call. So that's
perfect. That's a great scenario to be in.
So yes, it is, and I think that everyone should do that. Once you become a setter, you're going to see your closer making a lot more money than you are, and you're going to it is, and I think just paying your dues and knowing the role, because it is so much better for you to be a set. This is what I've learned. It's so much better for you to be a setter longer than to jump right into closing and lose the company money because you're the guy who looks bad. The closer is like the guy with that's the spotlight's on the closer, and the most stressful position, and the setter is holding the spotlight. Right. So it's like I am still a setter because I choose to be. Because my offer asked me, are you ready? I am ready. I'm probably ready right now. But I would rather keep being a setter and having, the comfortability and the confidence knowing that I can set really good and ease my way into closing rather
100%. And there's pros and cons of both. Like, you don't have to hop on Zoom calls. You don't have to have a nice background. You could literally be doing phone calls in your bed, you know? So there's definitely pros and cons of both. I think closing's a bit glorified because you do make obviously double the money, but it's a lot more stressful. Like when I was closing full time, working 12 hours a day, it's very stressful, but the money is worth it. And I recommend you do transition once you feel like you're fully ready, Yeah.
I definitely plan to.
Advice, Austin, advice to someone that's in your shoes, maybe an 18-year-old, maybe a 22-year-old, someone that just can't find their path, is just trying to do stuff, but they're just not making money. What is like a 30-day roadmap you would give them?
30-day roadmap. I would say if I'm speaking to someone who is completely broke, has no money, first of all, get a job. Get a job to where you're able to have some sort of income. If you already have a job and you have $2-3 grand, $5 grand saved up, you're wasting your own time. I would say, if you need to, reach out to Colby and he can give you more instruction on the program and get in the program and take advantage of it and start learning these things. But I mean, it's simple as it is. Get in the program, start the training, immediately start applying for the offer, and start making money.
Just take the jump.
Take the jump. That's the only thing I can say because that's what I did. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we watch Andy Elliott. Yeah, we watch Grant Cardone. We watch these people who teach you how to sell. Those are the basics. But once you really understand that it's not rocket science, that you're just talking to people and you're helping people because they're coming to you for your help. Yeah. It's a lot different. Yeah. It's just, I went into it with that Andy Elliott mindset. I got to be a dog. Yes, you have to be a dog. Yes, you have to work hard, but
you got to be in the right niche. You got to be in the right zone. You got to have the right offer. But it's kind of funny because I don't want to make this whole thing promoting paid in full, but I feel like at this point it's almost selfish not to, because 90% of the people that we get inside our program are word of mouth referrals, which is insane. Like I think a lot of people, like some of your friends have joined just because they see your success. So I feel like the more I talk about it, it's just we genuinely are helping people get on offers. They're making money. The offer makes money. It's a win-win. It's just scary. It's just scary to make the jump.
I have 3 friends that know about what I'm doing. 2 of them have quit their job and they're in a program, and 1 is still working 12 hours a day, 4 days a week. And on the weekends, he's trying to do stocks and investments and this and that. And it just, he's wondering why we're at the beach for, 3 weeks at a time sometimes. Like, it's just, I think we can talk about money all day, but the freedom is what comes with it.
And we're always yapping about who this is for. Who would you say this industry specific is not for?
Is not for. Yeah. People who can't take instruction. People who can't take constructive criticism. People who believe that everything is too good to be true. I would say it's not for someone who can't pay their dues as a setter. Right. Someone who can't pay their dues as a closer before they own whatever they're wanting to sell. The guy who can't wait in line.
100%. I think that's true too. If you're constantly worrying about how much the closer's making and you're not like team oriented, it might be pretty tough to get into this.
It's just not for you. It's just, and it's, I don't think this, I'm glad that you mentioned that this isn't for everyone. This isn't for, every single soul that walks this earth. It's genuinely for the people who can be taught, who can learn and want to make money.
It's so vital to be coachable. The people that are hard-headed, I've had people come into the program. We obviously teach a script that works. We teach a script that we have closed millions of dollars in, like known for a fact. And a lot of people will DM me, not a lot of people, some certain students will be like, well, can I use my script? And I'm like, you can, but it's like, if you just use what already works, it's a lot more likely you're going to do well, And
a lot of these scripts out here that aren't like customly made, they all sound like bots.
Yeah, when I say script, I mean like framework.
Yeah, framework. That's a way better way to put it. I think that, just being coachable, like you said.
Yeah. All right, so I don't want to make this video too long. I know I've been yapping for a long time, but hopefully someone learned something. But Austin, any final words you want to say for someone in car sales or just someone that's on the edge of trying to make money online but just hasn't made the jump? Any sort of advice for them?
Save your money and make the jump. I mean, that's easy as I could say it. I don't think that you want to be sitting where you are. I don't think that you deserve to be sitting where you are. I think that you have to realize that we're in a new age. We're in a new era. And at 27 years old, to know that I finally have that freedom, it's truly a blessing and truly the most important thing in my life right now. Not making the money, but just having the freedom. Everything's not going to come easy. It's going to be a grind. But if you believe that you can sell a 2,000-pound vehicle to someone, I promise you can sell an online product to someone who wants it. Yeah. To someone that already wants it.
Already reached out to you about buying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Austin, thank you for coming out here. Super glad we linked. I want to do more student interviews soon. Let me know if you guys like this. Thumbs up, subscribe, and...
You didn't come across this video for no reason. This popped up for an opportunity. Take it.
100%, yeah.
Take it.
And also, one last question.
Yeah.
I know you're super faith-driven. What has that kind of played a role in you doing well and you kind of like having a good mindset?
Just understanding that, just the money isn't everything. It's the freedom because, most of my time I spend my time reading the Bible, going to church, participating in youth groups, leading and spreading the gospel. So this helps me be able to do pay for those trips that we take and pay for the things that we do. When I have the days off, whenever the offer calls me and is like, hey, we only got 3 calls today, knock them out and go do what you got to do. Right. Just trusting God's plan. I have to obviously say that, give it all to God and understand that, like I said, you did not come across this video for no reason, that this was placed in your life for a reason. Pray on it if you got to, if you're a believer. And I think that I'm glad you brought that up because this isn't a pyramid scheme. This is genuine. This is genuine.
That's someone that runs a pyramid scheme would say.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they would mention God in the same sentence. Let me say that.
There you go. But thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys want access to trainings and similar opportunities that Austin had, click the link down below and we'll get you on a call with one of our coaches.